Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Video Clips. And before we get into today's topic, just want to remind you about a couple of things. First of all, the last of the free healthcare workshops before winter semester starts are on December 28th and January 5th at 8:30. You don't attend both, just one or the other. And this is about independent practice, people who would like to be in their own practice, maybe have never done that before, or in your own practice and maybe it's not going as well as you expected. What should you be doing differently? That kind of thing, free workshop. So if you want to attend one of those, let me know. Remember, in January, we've planned the Lost Daughters celebration, which is a fundraiser, and that's just an online donation. If you're interested in that, send me an email. Think about January winter semester. We started training programs all over again. We have the best professional development courses to teach you how to do what you want to do using our experience. We've been very successful at this for 30 years, and we can show you how we did it and help you do it too. So if you want to schedule a time to talk to me about this stuff, this is the time to do it. It's a little less hectic, and I do have time to spend with people. My long COVID workshop is coming up January 11th. This is a huge project to undertake because there's so many divergent viewpoints about what is long COVID, who actually has it, what do you do about it, and all that sort of thing. So that's on January 11th. Our workshop, our two-part workshop on AFib, atrial fibrillation, coming up in January. Lots going on. Don't miss any of it. I think all of our programming is pretty amazing, if I say so myself. So with that, let's go ahead and get started today's topic. I want to talk about the importance of being outside. And I'll just start by saying a new study in Finland shows that kids exposed to more greenery had positive changes in their microbiomes and biomarkers, indicating a stronger system in just 28 days. The impact is just almost immediate. The study involved 75 children between the ages of 3 and 5 who were enrolled at 3 types of daycares. Some centers had paved lots with gravel, and outdoor time was spent on concrete, a typical playground type of situation. Some centers had the employees of some centers took kids out for nature walks on a daily basis. And then there were some centers where the outdoor area had been completely upgraded with grass and forest undergrowth and blueberry bushes and things of that nature. So the researchers tested the microbiota of the children's skin and gut both before and after a 28-day period in which the kids and the 4 daycare centers that were upgraded played outside. And they actually cared for little crops like blueberries and heather that were planted in boxes every day, 5 days a week. The skin and gut microbiomes of these kids were compared to those of the kids who were enrolled in other centers. In just 28 days, like I said before, the kids exposed to more green spaces, either through nature walks or from playing in yards with more greenery, had increased diversity of bacteria on their skin and in their guts. They also had higher counts of T cells and other immune markers in their bloodstreams. By the way, more bacterial diversity is a marker for a strong immune system, in addition to the higher T cell counts and other markers. Limitations of the study: of course, sample size was small. The researchers could only report a correlation between outdoor exposure and markers for better immunity. But this study adds to a body of research that's pretty large, showing that kids who spend more time outside have better eyesight. They have better mental and physical health. Some studies have even linked spending time in green spaces to structural changes in the brain that lead to better working memory and attentiveness. And some of this just makes common sense. I mean, there's a common sense aspect of this. When kids run around and play outside and look at trees and flowers and that sort of thing, they probably sit still better in class. Additionally, many studies have shown that kids who grow up in rural environments have a lower risk of asthma and allergies. And this is thought to be due in part due to the hygiene hypothesis. Kids in pristine environments in the city who don't get any exposure to dirt and germs and bacteria have lower immune function than kids who grow up in more rural areas in which their immune systems are forced into action. I mean, it's the use it or lose it principle. Your body will turn to garbage if you don't move it and build muscle and that sort of thing. Well, so will your immune system and your mind and everything else. when you think about it, providing access to green spaces is a low risk, low cost way to improve children's health. And as I said, it's just common sense. Outside in nature is going to be better than inside looking at screens all day long. And I think back on my childhood, I sound like I'm 110 years old, but I'm 66 years old. When I was a kid, we were outside all the time. I mean, my mother and my grandmother had everything that they could do to get us to come in at lunchtime to eat. And then we were back out the door again. And we picked, fruit off the tree and ate it without washing it, and picked stuff off of the, tomatoes and carrots and that sort of thing. We just were not into all of that. Just sanitizing everything, which that's a whole other story for a different day. But our immune systems worked hard. We played in the dirt. We got dirty every day, and there was some value in that. So we're all scheduled for some time off during the holidays. And by the way, in the wintertime, when we were kids, we also spent time outdoors. We shoveled snow, and we built igloos, and we went sledding. And, again, we had to bundle up, and certainly we didn't spend as much time outside during the deep winter as we did in the summer. But the whole idea of being inside all the time was a complete foreign idea. We didn't want it. I think our parents and grandparents certainly didn't want it. Get kids outside is good for them as well, right? So we're scheduled for some time off during the holidays. Try to spend at least some of it outside. And by the way, what you're hearing in the background is my friend, Sir Winston Churchill, my baby cat, who is, I call him the wild man of Borneo, because he is always running through the house like you see a black streak of cat running at top speed after some kind of toy. And he particularly likes the ones that make noise. So for all of you who've sent cards and flowers and gifts and toys, thank you so very much. Mr. Winston's having a lovely time getting acquainted here in the house with me and the environment and everybody who comes to visit. And so he'll be making regular appearances both in these videos and in the classes I teach, but he's very busy right now doing something else. All right, that's it for today. As usual, pass this on to anybody who you think might benefit from watching it. I'll be back to you tomorrow with more news.